So I'm out in the storage room today again, and let's see here, where am I supposed to be looking? Possibly there, I think. I would really like to get through the whole storage room and open every single box and go through every single box, because a lot of times when I have decluttered in the storage room before, what happened is that I would find some boxes that I knew what was in them, and I just kind of figured, oh, I won't get rid of anything in that box, and so I didn't open it. And that was sometimes nostalgic things, but sometimes it was just stuff like, oh, well, that's lamps. Well, maybe we don't need extra lamps that are laying in the storage room. And it just seemed logical at the time that we needed to keep them for some reason. But I've seriously opened a lot of boxes that I haven't opened for years. And I've opened boxes that I've just been moving around for a while because for some reason I thought we had to keep everything inside. And as soon as I opened the lid, I realized that I didn't need often at least half of what was in the box. So that was a good way to get rid of a lot of extra stuff, is just to make sure I went through everything. And even if you have some nostalgic things in your storage room and you were planning on maybe doing that last, like at the very end of your decluttering, you can even go through that at the end of doing your storage room. And then I did that at least a few years ago, and I did get rid of some stuff. And you may not get rid of nearly enough of your nostalgic things, but you will get rid of some. And then I had to revisit all of my nostalgic boxes this year, and about 6 months ago I probably cut all the stuff I saved for my kids in half. So you can go through things several times. It's not a problem. It's just the more stuff you get rid of the first time, it just saves you lots of time next time. My nose is red and I have a big coat on because there's no heat out here. And in Sweden, April is still pretty snowy. Let's see if you can actually see outside the window here. It's snow outside, and we're hoping to get some sun at the ski slopes this weekend. So it's definitely a long ways from spring weather. Came across some wedding gifts that I honestly forgot these were out here, and so I have to figure out what to do with these. So we did get more wedding gifts than these. Some I have honestly given away because it wasn't anything we were going to use, and I finally decided that I wasn't going to store it in my storage room indefinitely if I wasn't ever going to use it. So I don't know. I know my mom kept a lot of wedding gifts in the storage room in the basement when I grew up, and I don't know if she probably still has them. It's kind of the thought that you really can't get rid of things that you got when you got married. But I decided I'm not going to sit in that boat and just store them forever and ever. So I have gotten rid of some wedding gifts. We have some in the house that we use on a regular basis. And then I found these. So I think I'm going to weed out a little bit. Like, this one's not in quite as good a shape as that one. So I think this one I'm going to take over to the house and see if I can get it in the oven beside another pan and see if that works. Then that might be something that's actually really useful. So we're getting rid of that. We don't ever use these. They're French onion soup bowls. So I think those get to go to the secondhand store. And there was more of those. There's only 2 left. So, and we're 5 people, so not super useful. These came with a snack set, and then part of it broke, and so I don't have the rest of it. I might take these over to their house, and you know, now in Corona, it's a good idea to get nuts or something out of a bowl with a spoon instead of using your fingers. So I think I might try to see if we use those, and if we don't, I'll just donate them if we don't use them. Then there's the thing of the sauce boat. And my son thinks stuff like this is fun because it's a little bit of his American heritage, I think. This came from the States, and it looks a little bit more like something you would buy in the States versus buy in Sweden. So I think I might take this over to the house and try to use it. And if I don't use it and it feels like it's in the way, then that's probably going to go to the Red Cross too. to the secondhand store, and what do we have here? I have 4 of these. They're tea mugs, and I think we couldn't find any of the bigger tea mugs when we had company over, so I think that we are probably going to try to use these and put them maybe in the cupboard where the kids won't get them out all the time, but so that I have them for company. I usually don't have that many mugs out on a regular basis because the kids will just use all of them. So I kind of hide them in one kitchen cupboard, and then they're a little bit hard to get out so the kids don't take them out. This is actually not a wedding gift. We bought these in Thailand, and there, I think, is 6 of them. I've been using them more as a glug mug, which is a Swedish Christmas drink. It's really rich stuff. It's, if you make it yourself, usually they tell you to use grape juice and a lot of spices, so you don't need a lot of it. And so small mugs are perfect. I was just thinking maybe I'll try to take some of these over to the house and use them for my daughter and my son take medicine every single day, and so sometimes they need just a little bit of juice or something to drink with that. So maybe this is a good thing to start using. Then we have this. I think I might keep just because this is sort of the thing that it might be worth more with time. It's from a Swedish company that makes glass. Let's see here. Oh, if you can actually, there we go. And we got this for our wedding. And so this is kind of a fun thing that's from a really famous brand in Sweden. So I'm going to keep that. And this might just stay out in the storage room. I think it could be crystal. I don't know. It's really, really, really heavy. So it's not a super practical thing to use in the kitchen. But when the plan is to eventually renovate the other building on our farm and move into a bigger house, and then if I actually have space in my bigger kitchen, then I would be happy to get some of this stuff out and display it or try to use it when I have more space. These, I don't know if I've ever used these, honestly. This could be something that you maybe put still in or something, but because they look like a fish, they're so specific that it kind of feels weird to put, I don't know, like I think this is supposed to be a platter that if you make a whole fish in the oven, then you put it on here. But I honestly have never used this, and I think I'm going to try it to see if I can donate these to my job. I work in a kitchen, and so we actually do make quite a lot of fish there, and maybe these are fun things to put, I don't know, fish sauce in or fish on. And if not, then they'll probably just go to the secondhand store. So I honestly don't remember who gave us this stuff at this point. I'm pretty sure that bowl came from one of my husband's cousins. I remember that much. And I don't really remember where these came from either, but I think the kids might think these were more fun to have later than these. Anyway, if we're gonna keep something and give them later when they're older, I think the mugs are more useful and more fun. And I'm gonna try to get most of the stuff in the house, try to start using it. So the only thing I think I'm gonna leave out here is this, and I'm probably gonna leave that with, here's those other mugs, and this is stuff for baking a special kind of Swedish bread. Over here I have, this is for milk. It's really small though. These days a lot of people use more milk than that. And a sugar bowl, and these are from my husband's grandpa, and this is also something from my husband's grandpa that we inherited when he passed on. And so I think I'm just gonna label this all really well, and then so the kids know who it came from, and put this stuff in a box for now. But it's gonna be a pretty little box, so that's a good thing. The thing about these I thought I would explain really quick is that my husband and I bought these on a trip to Thailand and Cambodia. And so I have a lot of good memories of that trip, and so these cups actually hold a lot more memory for me than those fish platters that we got when we were married, because I haven't really used them. I don't even remember who gave them to us, but I can tell you a lot of things about this trip We were gone over Christmas and we were with some friends, and we made a Christmas tree out of string and some weird looking plants that we found in a field, and I had some fun exchanging gifts, and that was part of the trip. And then we actually went and helped after the tsunami because we happened to be in Cambodia when it hit, but we flew into Thailand. So people thought we were missing too at first, and we were all fine. We were quite far from the tsunami, but we went over to the tsunami area and helped afterwards. So these cups have a lot of memories, and I'd much rather keep these than some of my dishes and things from our wedding that I don't even know who they came from. And one more thing, I thought I would say, this is part of a set, and we have the dishes that go with this and the coffee mugs and all kinds of stuff. And at first I felt like I couldn't get rid of any of it because it was a set, but there were certain pieces of the set that we never ever used. So a few years ago, I actually donated some to the secondhand store that I felt like they didn't sit well in the cupboard because they took up lots of space. It was cereal bowls, but each cereal bowl took up like this much space height wise, and we didn't really have space for that. And so eventually I just donated those, and then some things have broken, and now I feel like we're gonna try to see if we'll use this sauce thing, but if we don't, I feel okay about donating it. And I think you don't have to keep the whole set, even if you have like dishes you got from your wedding or something. If there are things that you're never going to use, I don't think you need to feel bad about donating them. Maybe somebody else will find them and be really excited and actually use them. And that's what the things are for. They're not made to be taking up space in our storage rooms and causing us grief. They're made to be used and enjoyed. So if you can't use it and enjoy it, don't feel bad about letting somebody else use it and enjoy it. And if that's somebody that you know that really wants to take it, that knows the story behind it, fine. But if that's the secondhand store and somebody that has less money than you, that shops there a lot, finds something really good for a cheap price, then they will be so excited about that. And sometimes I have to remind myself of that. The other people will get a lot of joy out of finding it at the secondhand store, and that helps me let go of things. Thank you for sharing part of your day with us. If you found this helpful, go ahead and subscribe or give us a thumbs up. Bye.